Hi guys, so not a handful of us who own Honda S2000s don't drive them for the whole year. I'm one of those people who drive them during the summer. In nice weather I avoid all the salt, the roads and ice and all that. And during the winter, pretty much sits parked up in the garage. I see it right now, undercover on a Trickle Charger with the moisture pad in the back. So it usually sits around for, I would say, 2, 3, 4 months at max. But I do try and take it out every few weeks just to keep it running, just to get up to temperature and so on, just when it's a nice sunny winter's day. So for this video in itself, it's going to be just a quick what I do and how I store my cars. So I'm in a garage. It's not a heated garage, but most of the time it stays dry. There's a little bit of a moisture problem inside it in the winter because the doors don't fully seal, but that's a very small issue because at the end of the day it's a car. So in this video I'll just cover you the actual bits that I do to prepare and what products I use and what I used to chill charge my car, what I used to keep the moisture out in the interior, because that's one thing a lot of people do forget, and they get mold inside around the steering wheel and around the seats and all that. So we'll cover that up. So I'll just get ready to get the bits out so I can show you what I've done and how I prepare it before I actually put it in the garage. Here are the items that I actually use. One of them is a moisture pad. You can get these on Amazon. They usually, as you can see by that 600 watt microwave put in, it basically sucks all the moisture out of it. What I do is I just dump it on the center console on a just microfiber cloth, just in case it does in some way decide to stain the leather or something. And all this does, it basically sucks up any excess moisture inside the interior. And I've used it for at times 2-3 months inside the garage where the car would be parked if it was a especially bad winter and rainy and cold. And this alone has kept my car's interior dry, and it is dry. You don't even feel any moisture when you get inside after weeks of sitting. Another thing I do just before parking up or before the winter sol hits is I put up on ramps, and I use this Bilhammer Atomac. This is an anti-corrosive spray essentially, but what you do is you mix it up with water, I think 5% ratio or something like that, to the whatever liter or 2 liters of water. And after washing down the under the car, I just spray all the underside with this. And I don't know how much it does, but I've tested on brakes and so on. It does any open pore metal, it does stop it from rusting. So obviously it's not permanent fix, it's not like wax or anything, but it's a nice little thing. I just spray on my edges and the other prone to rust areas on the 2000. Doesn't do any harm anyway. And the next thing is trickle charging. So for trickle charging, I've got these little connectors that go into the battery terminals, plus and minus, positive and negative, and then it has this little quick connector. What it does is I use a AA charger. Sorry, it's upside down, but you get the idea. You can get these on Amazon for around 25, I think 6 quid. This is the 1.5 amp one. And essentially what you do, just plug it in, press the go button, the start button, and it starts charging. Once it starts going, it basically just trickle charges little pulses into your battery to keep it healthy. So if it sits for 2, 3, 4 weeks, it will essentially maintain your battery voltage without constantly pumping current into it, and that's exactly what you want. So other things, a lot of people focus with unplugging the batteries and so on, but if you go trickle charging, you will get away with it. Other thing people focus on is the tires. So as you can see, my tires, they're sitting at normal 32 psi pressure, nothing special about them. So if you do store your car for years, or I would say anything over 6 months, you will want to move the car forwards and backwards a little bit so you don't get flat spots on the tires. But if you keep your car in the garage for a few weeks, a month, 2 months, it will be absolutely fine. But one thing a lot of 2000 owners will know is that the rear calipers like to seize up. So if you look under my car, you'll see I've got a piece of wood. The reason I've got a piece of wood there is because my handbrake is off. And the reason my handbrake is off is because they like to seize up. So it's a bit dark in here, but you get the idea. The handbrake is off. There's a piece of wood to stop the car from rolling back. So I just use that to keep the calipers from seizing up, and I've used it for a long time and it seems to work fine. As far as tires go, so people who recommend overinflating the tires, and you can do it as a precaution, personally I've never had any issues with it. And as I said, my car sits through the winter, basically the worst months, probably 2-3 months, it sits in the garage and then it comes off. So it's your call if you want to do it or not. Personally, I had no issues with it, so I don't do it. So those overall are key bits to keep your car stored in a garage. If you're outside, it's a bit different. What you will want to do is you want to get preferably a waterproof cover. What I have is a cover like this. Essentially a thin cloth cover, but what it does keep the dust off. It's made by a company I think Cosmos. Again, I bought on Amazon. It's a medium size and it just pretty much fits over the car, as you've seen by the first part of this video where I've taken it off, and it just sits tight and it just keeps the dust and all the random, you know, garage crap off it. And that's it really. I mean, it's your call how you run your car. I personally do take it for a drive as much as I can. But again, this is my toy. It gets pampered, probably more than it needs to get pampered. But it is what it is, and I know a few $1,000 are similar to me. So I think that's it. That should cover you for your winter storage. And if you got any questions, please let me know. I will be making some more videos on this car because I generally haven't, to just cover up the mods I have on it, the plans probably for the winter, because I've got a couple little marks right here on the headlight where it's starting to fog up due to sun damage. So we'll probably sort these out and get them sanded, because right now it doesn't look bad, but when the light shines from inside, especially this, it does look a bit clouded up here. The other couple of things I want to do is sort the bumper out and so on, and we'll make another video on that. I will also make a video covering the mods on the car. As you can obviously see, there's a can and intake. But I think for now, this will be it. If you like the video, do drop a like. If you dislike the video, drop a dislike. And I'll see you next time.